Have you heard of CashBack Mortgages? What exactly are they? Today we're going to find out in a phone call with my buddy Mike Schroeder of Mortgage Architects. That's next.
You're listening to the Bo Knows Real Estate Podcast. Tips and advice for home buyers, sellers, and owners with award-winning RE/MAX agent, BO KAUFFMANN.
Hello, everybody. This is Bo KAUFFMANN, RE/MAX Performance Realty, and welcome to Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast. On today's episode, we've scheduled a phone call with my buddy Mike Schroeder of Mortgage Architects. And we're going to talk to him about CashBack Mortgages. What are they? Are there any drawbacks? There's no such thing as a free ride, so what's involved? But I also want to talk to him about reports I'm hearing that the Bank of Canada rate is going to go up a full half a point. It's quite a jump. How is that going to affect buyers, or is it going to affect buyers? And we'll ask him about that as well. So let's call Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, it's Bo KAUFFMANN from RE/MAX. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing well. How about yourself?
Good, excellent. I was looking forward to today's topic on cashback mortgages. But before I even get into that, I've been reading and hearing about the industry experts, whoever they are predicting that the next time the Bank of Canada rate makes an adjustment, which is expected next week, Wednesday, that it could go up by as much as a half a point. Is that going to affect the stress test rate? Is that going to affect how first-time home buyers qualify and how much house they can qualify for?
So let's break that down a little bit here. So the announcement that's happening next week Wednesday, is strictly affecting variable rate mortgages. Okay, variable rates and fixed rates move independendly of each other, and so this announcement is strictly about variable rates.
Oh, really?
Now, yes. Now the second point to that is there right now is the biggest gap we've ever seen between fixed and variable rates. So a 5-year variable rate today is at about 1.6%. A 5-year fixed rate today is at about 3.9%.
Whoa.
So you get about a 2.3% gap. Now, the stress test rate is something different entirely. That is set independently by Bank of Canada. That is a rate you qualify for to get a house. That rate hasn't changed yet. It is still 5.25%. Although, because the fixed rates have gone up, that might be changing. So to recap, the announcement next week only affects variable rates, does not affect fixed, and it does not affect the stress test. Those are all independent things.
Okay, but from what you just said, with the fixed rates having gone up anyway, that stress test, no matter what the Bank of Canada does, that stress test rate could and probably will go up at some point in the near future.
Yep, that's completely reasonable. We think that could happen. But I want to say as well that because of the gap right now between fixed and variable rates are still worth considering. At least have the conversation with your mortgage broker so you understand the risk assessment of it before you get into it. But I'm still recommending variable because of the gap between fixed and variable.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Well, that's good. Good information. So let's talk about cashback mortgages. I've heard about them. What exactly are they?
So what a cashback mortgage is that when you sit down to sign the mortgage documents with your lawyer and your mortgage funds, your lawyer is going to give you cash from the lender that you can use for many different purposes. Usually this cashback is a percentage of the mortgage amount. So if you have a $400,000 mortgage and you get 1% cashback, you will get a check for $4,000.
Okay, excellent. Is there a maximum? How much, what's being offered right now? How high can it go?
Sure. So depending on the lender, I've seen between 1% cashback on the low end and 4% cashback on the high end.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, 5% on the high end.
5 on a $400,000, you can get $20,000.
Correct. Yes.
Now, what can this money be used? Can I use that for my down payment?
So down payment is about the only thing you can't use it for. However, you can use it for your pesky closing costs. So paying your lawyer, paying the land transfer tax is good for that. Sometimes people use it for furniture or appliances. The key thing, though, that a lot of people forget about is paying off high interest credit card debt. So if you have, say, a $4,000 balance on the credit card, and maybe that balance is preventing you from getting into a house, using cashback to pay it off, and then you're starting off homeownership with less debt, can put you into a very good situation.
Yeah, no kidding. Start, with a fresh start. You're in a house and you can pay off your credit card. That's a good idea. You and I, we didn't come down in yesterday's rain. We know there's no such thing as a free ride. What are the drawbacks, or do you have to pay this money back, or how do the banks fare? I don't think banks ever give stuff away. What's the catch?
So there's sort of three catches to consider. The first is that typically cashback is only offered on fixed rate mortgages. So you are making a commitment to stay locked in with the lender. Okay. The second part is you do pay a higher rate for it. Now, the rate usually still makes sense. So what the cost of your borrowing still makes sense overall. But the real catch, and this is the third one, if you have to break that mortgage before the term is up, you will have to pay some to all of it back to the lender. So if you get $20,000 and you spend it, and then you have to break your mortgage 3 years in, you may have to come up with money that you don't have to pay the lender back. And that's where reading that fine print is very important.
Yeah, and that paying that back in addition to any penalties that they might charge you.
Correct. So at the end of the day, it is simply a tool by the lender to lock you into staying with them for the 5-year term, which is neither a good thing or a bad thing. It just means that when you're buying the house, your eyes are fully open and you understand the risk and reward you get by doing that.
And the limitations that you're putting on yourself. You know, it's that much tougher to break the mortgage.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Well, I learned something new today. Thanks a lot, Mike. What are we going to talk about in 2 weeks from now?
Sure. So I think we could talk about types of income that some lenders accept that others don't. That could be anything from being a foster parent to Canadian child benefit, income in from overseas. There's many different types of income that some lenders accept and others don't. And understanding which ones do can be a key way to get into a house.
Sounds great. And how do people get a hold of you if they're looking for a mortgage broker?
Sure. So there's kind of two main ways. I do have a website, MikeSchroeder.ca. You can book a call through there. We're also having a heavy social media presence. So it's Your Mortgage Couple. My business partner is my spouse. We're in it together. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Your Mortgage Couple. And your phone number?
204-229-3214.
All right, Mike. Thanks a lot. It's been very educational as always. And I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Perfect. We'll talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
This episode of Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast is brought to you by Total Moving, providing moving services, packing supplies, assembly, and organizing for residential and commercial clients. Guaranteeing no hidden fees while providing the most efficient moving process possible. Call 431-441-MOVE or get an estimate online at totalmovingwinnipeg.ca. That's Total Moving, Manitoba's modern mover.
Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this informative episode of Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast. We put out almost weekly episodes aimed at home sellers and home buyers and owners in general. So if you enjoy this kind of material, there's an easy way to stay in touch with us. Go to bonos.homes/podcast. And you can get all the episodes there. We even have apps for your iPhone and your Android device. Simply go to bonos.homes/apps, APPS, and there you can select whether it's an iPhone or an Android device. Until next time, bye-bye.
Are you looking to buy a house or a condo in Winnipeg? Work with the agent who takes the time to explain the process to you, guiding you through every step. For service beyond the sale, book your home buying consultation with BO KAUFFMANN of RE/MAX Performance today. BO knows real estate.
You've been listening to BO KAUFFMANN of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Are you thinking of buying or selling a house or a condo in Winnipeg? Call Bo at 204-333-2202. Remember, Bo knows real estate.